The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the results from the Iowa Democratic Caucus are actually delayed right now because there's some inconsistencies with the results, and it's understood that it has to do with the participants of the caucus using a new app to actually participate and make their vote. Now this app is actually built by a DC firm known as Shadow. It's actually connected with a digital marketing firm known as Acronym, built by a former staffer of Barack Obama's 2012 re-election squad. You know what I'm saying? Now, check this out. Even with the app having been used, it's understood that it wasn't tested at scale by, the Homeland Security Department's digital team and a cybersecurity team, pardon me. And it, it just hasn't been properly vetted. But they're getting to the bottom of it. They expected to release official results today. But right now, as it stands, Bernie Sanders is up. Green War graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, there was a 39-year-old man in Hong Kong today that died from the coronavirus. And this is causing a lot of outrage. You have like 2,000 medical workers that are in Hong Kong demanding that they completely shut off Hong Kong, the semi-autonomous region, completely shut it off from mainland China. That 39-year-old man that died, that is the second death claimed by the coronavirus outside of mainland China. So far, the death toll in mainland China has actually reached 425, and the total number of infected people is actually increasing by like 2,000 per day. So last time I reported on it was about like at 17,000 or whatever. So that was yesterday. So you do the math. But so far in Hong Kong, they have 13 of the 16 checkpoints between that would take you from Hong Kong to China or China to Hong Kong, whatever. 13 of them are actually cut off, but like I said, people are protesting because they want them completely cut off. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here, China. Green War and graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, Ukrainian media on Sunday actually leaked audio that showed communication between the air traffic controller and an Iranian pilot that basically shows that Iran and the folks in Tehran, the capital or whatever, they actually knew that they had shot down that plane that was actually leaving Tehran International Airport and headed to Ukraine. That ended up being first this was a Boeing 737, so it kind of like fit a narrative that's already going against Boeing airplanes, especially with the 737 Maxes being down and discontinued. But with that plane crash, 176 people died. A lot of Iranians and as well as a lot of Canadians on board. And this plane went down, and for 3 days, Iran had denied having had anything to do with it until the Iranian Revolutionary Guard had finally admitted or whatever. Well, this audio shows that they knew exactly what the fuck happened. Now, Tehran is actually discontinuing any dealings with Kyiv for the leaking of the audio. Green War graduated. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in over in Syria, Turkey had actually upped the ante and started launching these airstrikes in an already troubled area. We're talking about the northwestern province of Idlib, that's over which there's been a battle between Russian-backed Syrian forces and the rebels that have actually that area on Smidash. Now, if you actually Smashes, they just got that area on lock, and that's why the Syrian government, backed by Russia, is actually trying to take hold of that area. It's considered the last rebel-held area. But Turkish forces, who were in Syria after having trying to launched their offensive, a couple months back, once Trump removed the U.S. troops and stopped backing the Kurds or whatever. Turkish forces are out there, and they're dealing with their offensives against Syria. Nevertheless, 6 Turkish militia members were actually killed. Hence the up of ante in Turkish airstrikes over that area. So major escalation going on in an area that's already saw almost 750,000 Syrians flee towards the Turkish border. Green War and graduate. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over there in Shirley, Massachusetts, at Salza Baranowski Correctional Center, this is a maximum security prison. There's actually been abuse inflicted by the prison guards against the inmates in retaliation, it seems like, due to the correctional officer actually being assaulted last month, pardon me. So in recent weeks, there have been, the guards have actually beaten on the prisoners, even tased them. And a lawyer who interviewed the guards, not the guards, but the prisoners, had actually found out the prisoners were saying that several of these inmates actually had to be hospitalized due to their injuries. But on top of that, they also have, the prison guards have withheld food from the inmates, as well as denied them access to lawyers. So it's basically taking out the retaliation on the entire prison population, which is illegal. And right now there's a lawsuit against the Massachusetts Department of Correction due to them denying these inmates the ability to see their lawyers. So we won't graduate. And the new one go to Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in New York, the trial is set today actually for Joshua Schultz. This is actually a former CIA software engineer that was charged in 2018 with the Espionage Act for leaking documents related to the CIA and the agency and their ability to, and revealing their tool that they use to actually hack onto Apple and Android cell phones. So this documentation was actually leaked to WikiLeaks. So there you have it. Greenwald and graduation. The new world, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So that Harvey Weinstein trial is going on in New York, and it was actually a dramatic scene where you had one of the accusers of Harvey Weinstein, Jessica Mann, actually basically having a panic attack after being cross-questioned by Weinstein's lawyers. And it forced the judge actually adjourned the proceedings for the day afterwards, because they basically had her read her own emails that showed she was disclosing with a boyfriend that she had been sexually assaulted prior to meeting Weinstein. The claim is that Harvey Weinstein, Mann says that Harvey Weinstein had sexually assaulted her in New York and in Los Angeles, and described their relationship, her relationship with him, as being extremely degrading. She's one of 6 women that are actually set to be on trial that say that this man assaulted and raped him. They already told you about 2 others, so it might be 3 left. Greenwald graduate. We'll go to Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over at Texas A&M University in Commerce, Texas, there was actually a shooting that took place on the campus. 2 people were killed. 1 child was actually injured. And this shooting, so far no real details have actually been released, but that shit happened yesterday on Monday, and that shit was wild. Also in LA, or you could say the Bay Area, there was actually a Greyhound going from LA to the Bay Area, and a gunman actually opened fire on a bus, killing 1 and injuring 5. So Greenwald and graduation. We'll go to the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So in Maryland, there's actually a special primary election being held today, Tuesday, that actually is set to fill the seat of the late representative of that district, of one of the districts, Elijah Cummings. He was actually over the Baltimore district. And we had that back and forth with Trump, where Elijah Cummings was condemning the actions of like Homeland Security, Border Customs and Border Patrol, and the upkeep of these detention centers and how filthy they were. And then Trump's response was like, well, you're over Baltimore and it's like rat infested, and said some wild shit. So that's kind of what his recent history was before he passed last year. And now set to now they have to have an election basically to fill his seat. One of the candidates is actually his widow, Maya Rockeymoore Cummings. So maybe she'll have some be able to catch some of that steam. But that's what's going on. Greenwald and graduate. The new world daughter Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So Dignidad Literaria. This was actually a campaign that I had told y'all about last week, that basically stemmed from the release of this book, American Dirt, by Janine Cummings. Now, this book was supposed to tell the story of a Mexican migrant and her child and them trying to get into America, but a lot of critics, especially the one in the Dignidad Literaria movement, actually feel like it didn't tell the story well, and it exploited Mexico and their story, and didn't even include Central Americans and them being the main asylum seekers in the story. It just seemed like some bullshit basically. And keep in mind that Cummings actually received a 7-figure advance to promote the book, but due to the backlash, Macmillan, which owned Flatiron Books, which published the book, had actually like canceled their book tour and all of that, whatever. Well, now Macmillan is actually saying that they're going to expand their staff and publication team to include more Latinx people. And the campaign, keep in mind, is also attacking the publication industry as a whole. So maybe we'll see some things come out of that. I feel like y'all shouldn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing. Green Wall graduate.